Okay, we are trying this again. This is my second time recording this. Today, I felt like reacting to a Brianna Bishop video and share my thoughts with you guys on it. It's called How to Consume Social Media Mindfully. This is my second time recording this, so I have already watched the video, but I still wanted to give my thoughts on it because I find it an interesting topic. And it kind of ties into very closely to what I was talking about in my previous video with how Twitter and just social media in general is kind of addictive, and I think we need to be more careful about how we engage with it. And I don't see enough people talking about this, but very glad that Brianna is. She brings up some pretty good points in this video, and I have a few points of my own, so we'll just get into it.
Hi guys, my name is Brianna Bishop. For those of you who don't know me, if you do know me, welcome back. I thought today I'd make a video on how to consume...
I love the kitty.
I thought I'd make a video today on how to consume social media responsibly. I feel like this is something that really should be taught in schools, among so many other things that aren't taught in school. But anyway, that being said, every single person and their mother and their grandmother uses social media. Children that are way too young to be on the internet use social media. So I don't know why this isn't taught in school, because there are horrible things that can happen with improper use of social media. So I thought...
And I 100% agree with that. Granted, there are a lot of things that aren't taught in schools that I think really should be for kids that aren't maybe getting that information at home, but I'll also tack on to that and say that I think this is something that more parents should be talking to their kids about at home. And I know that a lot of parents are also still trying to get a handle on navigating social media. But for those of us who've been on the internet for a while, we really should be sitting down with our kids and talking to them about how to engage in social media in a good way, a healthy way, because it is so much more prevalent in our lives, and as the years go by, it's probably going to be more so. I mean, we're always facing new technology. Like every 6 months there's something new, and there are a lot of kids that spend more time on social media than actually interacting with their real life friends. And so I think it's very important to have that discussion with your kids if you haven't already.
I thought I'd make a little 101 on how to consume social media thoughtfully, respectfully, and responsibly. The first thing I want to talk about is not to believe everything you see on the internet.
Very true. Very true. Don't believe everything you see. So I'm actually going to put this on a little bit faster speed. It's not that long of a video, but I don't want to spend too much time letting everything down. So we're going to speed it up just a little bit so that we can get through it quick, so that way my video isn't going to be hours long.
And this one seems so obvious, but I feel like we are lied to on the daily, and sometimes in very subtle ways. I saw this one video that really enlightened me, honestly, and it was this girl saying, if I find it, I'll insert it, but she goes, this is my first time trying Baskin Robbins, and then she's like, I don't know why I just said that, I've had Baskin Robbins before, basically she's like, see how easy it is for me to just lie to you guys. And it was just interesting to me, because I was like, I think people do this daily. I know for a fact that influencers, because I went to school in LA, I knew a fair share of influencers literally lie. They just lie, they make up stories for content. So I would treat the internet as kind of like a fiction movie. It might be based in reality, but they're lying to you. I would almost say 50% of the stuff you see on the internet is fake. So
yeah, 100% agree. I think she made a really good point here about treating it like fiction. I personally go on to YouTube and most of my social media for entertainment. A lot of the stuff that I watch is just because I find it entertaining. And I agree that it could probably help if you just don't pretend everything is just people role playing, because there are a lot of people on the internet that use it as escapism. They use it as a way to kind of shed the skin of reality and become someone else. Like whether it's like making a character for comedy or entertainment, something like that. Like it's just entertainment, and I think a good rule of thumb is to, like, anytime you go on social media, don't take anything anybody says seriously. Like, just don't. I think she pretty much hit the nail on the head, saying just treat it like it's fiction. You know, assume nothing is real at this point. There's so much Photoshop. Now we have AI to contend with. Just assume everything is fake and just, you know, treat it like you're watching like a movie or playing a video game. You know, like starting out, just like don't take any of it too seriously. Question everything until you actually, like, you know, see the facts, see the receipts, so to speak.
So just fact check, verify.
Exactly, yes, that's what I just said, yes.
And when people post things, don't just take it for what it is, because of course that's what we're going to do naturally. Like, why would we just assume that people are lying? But I want you to think critically about the information and the content that you're consuming, because you just never know when you're being lied to, which is so unfortunate. I wish that wasn't the case, but yeah, that's my first piece of advice. My cat's actually being so cute right now. But anyway, the next piece of advice I'd give, this is
shout out to the
specifically
cat
toward younger people, but really everyone should listen to this, and it's to keep certain things private. And I made this mistake in high school and college of oversharing like relationships and posting stuff when I was under the influence of alcohol, which is so cringy to me now. Like, I would never do this now, but don't post when you're drunk, don't post when you're high. Keep relationships semi-private. Like, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't post your boyfriend in high school or whatever it is, because that is an important time of your life, whether you like end up marrying this person or not. I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but I think oversharing those aspects of your life aren't that great.
Okay, yeah. This was something that when I previously recorded this, this was a point that I wanted to bring up about the oversharing. This was something that I did on my old account. When I was younger, I had a bad habit of sharing way too much of my private life on social media for all of my friends and family to see. Like, all of my drama going on in my relationships and stuff, and even like getting in arguments with people publicly, like on Facebook and stuff. And I think probably a rule of thumb to keep with social media is, like, you know, just kind of pretend that you're like sitting around the dinner table like at Thanksgiving, and you're with, you know, your friends and family, and, you know, you're gonna talk about your life, but, you know, be like what's the word? I guess just, you know, like, have some propriety, I guess, about sharing things, because, you know, you should be able to share things with people. You should be able to have a healthy support system, people that you can talk to if you have problems. Like, you should not be isolating yourself, but that stuff sticks with you, and it just it looks bad. It does. Like, it looks bad in the long run, and you can't take something back once it's out there.
In addition to that, and this is a little bit maybe spiritual for some people, like a little too spiritual, but I do kind of believe in the evil eye, that people are not, well, I know this for a fact, people are kind of preying on your downfall sometimes. So when you're posting stuff about like what you want to accomplish or goals that you have in mind, things like that, I feel like not everyone's looking at you like wishing the best for you, and I hate to say it, so just keep that in mind, that what you post, people can see and kind of send you bad energy. And I don't mean this in such a spiritual way, but it's possible too, like, that people can meddle in your business, not just spiritually but physically. And I don't know, maybe that's a little spiritual for some people, but I really do believe that. So just keep things like that more private. Along the same lines, if you wouldn't really want your grandma to see it, I wouldn't post it. That's just me. But everyone.
Yeah, this is a really good point that she makes. I left a comment on her video about this. I really appreciate that she said that, because nowadays what I try to do is I try to pretend that my son is watching, or that like my parents are watching, and sometimes I break that rule. Like, I know that I can get like carried away sometimes when I'm like watching someone's live stream, and I'm like in the live chat, and you know, people are flippant, and it's very tempting to just kind of be flippant too. But most of the time it's one of those things where, because especially because of the fact that anybody could eventually run across your content, and this happens to people all the time. They post something online and then later their family sees it or their kids ends up seeing it, and it's not a good look. This stuff stays with you forever, and like I said, you can't take it back. And which I think she's eventually going to say this in her video, but I 100% agree. It's kind of look at things like, would you say this to a person in real life? Like, would you say this to your friend? Would you say this to your mom or your dad or your kid or your niece or your nephew? And just like, yeah, be a little more conscientious about how you're coming across to people.
Everyone's different, obviously. I would be mindful also of posting like your location. If there's a place that you frequent often, like if you go to the gym every day at 5 o'clock or whatever it is, maybe don't post that you do that, because just for safety reasons. So you should protect your identity, personal information. Also be mindful that employers are looking at your Instagram and your social media and your Twitter and stuff like that. So if you need to go and delete some things, I would recommend doing a cleanse. Also, obviously, college admittance. Wow, I can't think of what the admissions people. I've tried to refill this clip like 10 times, you guys. What is the word? Admissions.
I do the exact same thing. And I'm very passionate about words. So I'm like doubly like irritated at myself when I can't get a word right. Like it hits me so much more because words are my passion. And so, when you're into writing and you mess up, you don't say the word right or don't spell it right or something like that, it really sucks. But hey, it happens to the best of us. You're not alone.
College admissions. We'll be looking at your social media. Wow, that was a major brain fart. But yeah, when in doubt, I would err more on the side of privacy, because your information is on the internet forever. Even if you delete it, it's still there, unfortunately. The third thing is kind of one of the golden rules we learned growing up, but it's think before you post. Think before you comment, think before you speak. Everybody knows that we're supposed to do this, but we all forget. One of the things that I always think about when I'm consuming social media is, would I say this to someone in real life? And I feel like a lot of people...
Yes, there it is. She said it. Yeah. This is something that we tend to forget because we're hiding behind a screen, especially people that don't show their faces online. Like people that just have avatars as their profile picture. It's very easy to forget that we are people and there are also real people on the other side. Like I know I said like pretend everything is, fake and fictional and everything. But with that being said, bear in mind with what you put out there in the world, there are real people reading that. I know there are more and more bots, there's more and more AI, there's more like fake generated stuff out there, but there are still real people on the other side of the screen. And we should be treating each other like human beings with at least the bare like minimum of basic human respect.
On the internet don't think that before they post things. Like, would you tell a bride, for example, on her wedding day that her dress is ugly? No, you wouldn't. You would never do that, but I see it all the time on Instagram and social media, and it's just terrible. So I feel like we need to remind ourselves a golden rule of treating others how we want to be treated, whether that means just scrolling, for example. If someone remodels their home, for example, and they post the tens of thousands of dollars that they put into this project, they post it before and after, and you tell them that you like the before better, would you ever do that in real life?
Okay, to this, I will actually say that I think people have lost the art of constructive criticism. Because, like, in our real lives, we can critique something. Like, we should be able to be honest with people, but that doesn't mean we have to insult them. We can give our opinion on things, but not everything negative is an insult. And I think that's just kind of something that should be coming back, is the art of constructive criticism. Try to find the line between like being honest with someone and like just insulting them. Like, no, you're not going to call the bride's dress ugly, but you do want to be honest with her and go like, well, maybe it's not a good look for you, because if you care about her, you want her to look her best, you want her to feel confident, happy and gorgeous. And if the dress just isn't fitting right, the dress just isn't fitting right. And yeah, I think we should be trying to find like healthy, constructive ways to critique people, because I don't think that just complimenting people and just always having positive things to say is very healthy either. People need to be able to take criticism, and I think that's something that's really missing. So that's one thing I will say about that is I do think that there's a difference between like giving someone honest feedback and then just insulting them. I don't think we need to like insult people or put them down.
You wouldn't. You would never do that. So don't do it on social media, because people commit suicide over these kind of things. It's horrible. But you just have to be kind to one another and remember that you don't know who's on the.
And to that I will also say, we don't have control over someone's mental health. So we also can't let that like completely like dictate our communication with people. Sometimes they do need honesty. They do need perspective. And they're not always going to get that if everything being said to them is just kind words because we don't want to trigger them or upset them or hurt them. And sometimes you can be the nicest, sweetest person to someone. You can say all of the right things and do all of the right things, and their mental health is still going to drag them down, and, they might hurt themselves, and, the only thing you can really do is just, encourage them to seek help, seek a therapist. If you know anybody like that, definitely encourage them to call a crisis hotline. Because, yeah, like, stuff like that happens, and we can't necessarily control that, and I don't think it's healthy for people to be living in, living in a bubble, and they're not ever getting, like, the constructive criticism that they need.
Who's on the other side of the screen, you don't know what they're dealing with, you don't know how old they are, too, like, you could be talking to, like, a 12-year-old and you don't know it, so just be very, very mindful about how you...
Oh, but yes, that is actually a good point. She said you don't know how old someone is. Be mindful of that. You could think that you're talking to a 21-year-old and it turns out that they're a 12-year-old. So appropriate language, appropriate behavior. Probably don't be like flirtation with someone on the internet that you can't confirm their age. Like, just a bad idea all around. Verify 100%, confirm their age before you start getting flirty with them. A lot of YouTubers have gotten in trouble because they didn't do their due diligence.
Engage on the internet. There are a lot of really constructive ways to engage on social media, but being an asshole is not one of them. My fourth piece of advice is to limit screen time. This is another thing that I feel like everyone thinks is kind of obvious, but it's so much easier said than done. Especially with apps like TikTok and Reels, they're literally designed, the algorithms are so complex, and they're designed to capture you and hook you. It's horrible, and we spend so many hours mindlessly scrolling on those kind of apps. So just be careful. I don't want to say eliminate these things from your life, because I haven't, but I've completely stopped scrolling daily. So like maybe I'll do it once a week. Honestly, it's not something that I do very often anymore, and my quality of life, I'm not kidding you, has improved so much. Not only do I spend less because I'm less influenced, which is a me problem, but I'm very easily influenced, so I stopped spending as much. I don't feel like I'm comparing myself to other people as much. I feel more confident in my body. I feel more present in my life and more grateful for what I have and what should I have. What is the internet telling me I should buy?
Yeah, there's just so much more to say. Like, 100% agree with everything she said. And there's just so much more that I could add to that. It is very difficult to manage screen time, especially when you're, like me, and you're home alone a lot, you don't go out very much, and like I said, like social media is just kind of entertainment. Like, I don't watch a lot of like cable TV anymore. I mostly just watch like streaming stuff or YouTube. And it can be really difficult to minimize your screen time when it's your only means of social interaction. But yeah, this is the part that I think a lot of people, this is the hump that a lot of people are not going to get over, and especially when like I said, like your social life is online. You're kind of depending on that, and going completely offline is going to isolate you, and that's not healthy either. But yeah, you can end up having so many problems from just like, even just think about the physical problems you can have, like from sitting and staring at a screen all day. Like that's not good on your eyesight. And yeah, like the human mind is only built to take so much stress, and you're constantly like scrolling through and seeing everyone else's problems, all the problems in the world, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so you're just kind of making yourself anxious for no reason, like over a lot of stuff that there's probably nothing you can do about, and it's too much for the mind to handle. I don't think it's good for people. I really don't.
What is the internet saying where are they saying I should be in my career right now? None of that's in my head. I'm looking at now, and I think that a lot of people could benefit from limiting their screen time. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is shopping responsibly on the internet too. It is really easy to get scammed. Not only that, but also I feel like consumerism is at an all-time high, and the internet 100% is the main thing that's perpetuating that, especially social media. So when you're seeing ads or you're seeing influencers promote a product, you have to always remind yourself they are getting paid a lot of money to say that. Maybe they think it's a good product, but would they think it's a good product if they had to, for example, pay for it? Or if they weren't getting paid $10,000 to make a TikTok about it? Probably not. Just try.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Be very, very careful with that stuff. My advice would be to not buy anything from an influencer that's being sponsored unless you actually see them use the product themselves. Like, for example, if it's skincare, and you see someone on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, anything like that, and they're advertising a product in one of their videos, yeah, definitely don't buy it unless you see them take it out of the box and like actually use it, and like check to make sure that it works first, or just get, like, if you can get like a free sample of it. Yeah, definitely don't trust that, because you see that a lot happening online. People get exposed for backing a product or coming out with their own product line, and then later on we find out that there was some shady stuff happening behind the scenes. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust it unless you see someone like actually using the product and seeing any kind of results from it. Like if it's skincare or makeup or like anything that's going to go on or in your body, maybe just don't buy it online. Go to a beauty store in person if you can, and just order it, or order it from a larger, more well-known, more reputable site.
Try not to be influenced by people selling you products online. I would recommend never buying anything off TikTok Shop. And I'm a hypocrite because I bought one thing off TikTok Shop, and it's because it's a concealer that I use, and it was half off on TikTok Shop, and I was ashamed because I promised myself I'd never buy anything off TikTok Shop.
Well, you learned your lesson. You learned your lesson. We all do things we regret. It's okay.
Definitely received free products on TikTok and promoted it on my TikTok. And I hate to say it, but I'm telling you now, I'm not proud of it. And I got it for free though, so I was like, it's the least I could do. It's a psychological thing. You feel like you have to promote this product because you got it for free, and you feel like that's your payment for it. Anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that it reaches the right audience, because I really think that these are important tips that we maybe already know but kind of forget to remind ourselves every single day. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Okay, so that was How to Consume Social Media Mindfully by Brianna Bishop, and hopefully this time it will take and my recording will actually save, because it didn't last time, so we shall see. And yeah, go subscribe to her channel. If you have any more to add to the topic, I'll probably talk about it like a lot more in depth, like just like social media addiction, like as a whole topic probably, because I think it's something that's not really talked about enough. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for future content. Until next time.